Hi, Michael Denner here. I just wanted to go really quickly through the process of setting up your computer so that you can start to type in Russian. Your computer already has resident on it Unicode, which includes virtually all of the alphabets of the world. So it can already produce Russian letters when you use the keyboard in Word or when you're searching the internet. The problem is that the keyboard that's resident on most PCs is the old-fashioned Soviet keyboard. It's not very easy for us English speakers to use, and so I advise students to set up what's called a homophonic or a mnemonic keyboard so that they can type more quickly in Russian. The homophonic keyboard is premised on the idea that there are basically the same sounds between the two alphabets, and so when you type the letter S on your keyboard, the Cyrillic S, the one that looks like a C, appears. When you type the letter V on your keyboard, the letter voix, the one that looks like the B, appears. So let's say you type ASDF, you get ASDF in Cyrillic on the screen. So you can learn really quickly how to type in Russian. Of course, there are 33 letters in the Cyrillic alphabet and the Russian alphabet, quite a few more than in the English alphabet, and so they have migrated those letters over into the punctuation marks that are located on the right half of your keyboard. It takes a little while to learn where those letters are, but fortunately they've chosen the least used alphabets, the least used letters of the alphabet to put over where the colon and the comma and the question mark are. So, and then the punctuation marks have been migrated up into the number row that runs across the top of your keyboard. It takes a little bit of practice to learn how to use it, but my experience has been that students mess around for 15 or 20 minutes and they find it very easy to type their lessons in Russian. So let's go find that Russian homophonic keyboard. I myself like Russian for gringos, and so we'll type that into Google, and here we go, Russian for gringos. And this is what the keyboard looks like right here. So you might want to take a picture of this. I'll put one up on the blog. But like I said, you see here that ASDF across the middle of the keyboard produces ASDF. Really easy. So first thing that we need to do is we need to download the file, which is in a zip format. So we download the file, click on it, and we extract it someplace where we'll be able to find it later on. I like to extract all my files onto my desktop. That's what a desktop is there for. And so we extract those files, and up pops the folder Russian R, which is located up on my desktop here. I'll double click on that and hit setup.exe and wait for a second here as it runs. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Installation complete, Russian for gringos. It takes a couple seconds there. So now we close this and we follow the instructions, which I already know. So, but if you get a little lost, you can go back to this shininghappypeople.net page where we have the Russian for gringos and read step 2, install the keyboard. What it basically involves is going to your settings and your control panel and selecting regional and language options, going up to languages and hitting the details button here. Right now you see that I already have all of this stuff installed, but I'll go ahead and show you how it's done anyway. You would just hit add, and you would add Russian. That will activate the Russian alphabet, and then you choose the correct keyboard and make sure you choose the Russian for gringos keyboard, and you would hit OK. I'm going to hit cancel since I already have it installed. No need to do that. And what you'll find is that and if you haven't already done this, make sure that you activate your language keyboard, or your language bar here over in preferences. Let me show you how that's done again. I went too fast there. inside of regional and language options, go to languages, hit details, and down here in the corner it says language bar. Hit that language bar and show the language bar on the desktop. Make sure that that is activated. And you also want to probably activate the key settings. What the key settings lets you do is it lets you rapidly switch between input languages. You can either you can have it set up, change key sequence. I think that the default is hit the left Alt and the Shift keys over on the left hand corner of your keyboard, and that if you hit those two simultaneously, you'll switch between the two input languages. So make sure that that's activated, and if you need to, you can change the key sequence. Like I said, most people have it set up with the left Alt and the Control buttons. So we'll close all this out, and what should appear in the corner of your computer somewhere right here is mine. Mine's right now, for whatever reason, detached, but you see it right here. I'm now typing in Russian, and I can go up here and type Привет, and then I hit Alt and Shift, and now I'm back in English, and I can type hello. Now let me show you another way that you can very easily type in Russian. I like this a lot. Google offers a service called Google Transliterate. It says type in Hindi, but it's not just Hindi. If you go to Google Transliterate and choose Russian, the idea here is that you essentially type out in Latin characters the way that the Russian word sounds, and this Google Transliteration robot is really smart, and it recognizes these Latin characters, and it tries to sequence them in a way that makes sense in Russian, and then it converts whatever you've typed in this sort of transliterated pidgin English into Russian. So let's look at this word hello, hi in Russian. That's P. That word is privyet, and if you were to try to type that in English, you would type privet, right? Privet, and so we type privet here, and we push the space button, and it automatically changes that to the Russian privyet. Let's say good day. So dobry sounds sort of like D-O-B-R-Y, so we type that, and then we type дзень. So it doesn't exactly get that right there, does it? Right? So you've got to sometimes work with it a little bit. Maybe if we type two, there we go. If we type two Y's there, dobry дзень. I use this in class all the time. It takes a little bit of practice to get it right, but it's a very smart engine, and it does a great job. And then you can cut and paste it into whatever document you want.